Hey, what's going on off 199 South Florida football fans? It's your boy MusiqNerd, and this is my reaction to the football weekend in Florida. So, big shout out. A couple weeks ago, we were on the verge of not having a winless Florida weekend. That is not the case this weekend. Most of the major college teams won, except, of course, BCU, because BCU played FAM, and FAM won in the Classic. So, big shout out to FAMU winning the Classic yesterday. Also, big shout out to Florida getting a huge upset against Ole Miss, and a little shout out to Florida State getting their second win of the season, which is the only way I think Mike Norvell could have possibly gotten fired this season if they lost to Charleston Southern. So you don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about the Gators coming in on Saturday and probably whooping that behind. So we'll see what happens there. So moving on. Today we're going to be reacting to the Dolphins win, and then we're going to be talking about the Canes win and what's going on for both these teams. So first off, first things first with the Dolphins. Pretty dominant win today. They kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit when they went 31-0. The defense gave up a cheap touchdown, and then they also had a fumble that they gave up. But they were able to kind of lock it down, get a field goal for the rest of the day, and kind of shut it down. The offense looked pretty good today. Didn't run the ball particularly well, or really much when the game down to it. But it's like when a team's giving you something, you gotta pretty much take it. And it's like the Patriots were giving them the air game. Great job today getting Waddle involved. 9 targets, 8 catches, 144 yards, and a touchdown. I'm sure his fantasy owners are ecstatic right now. Jonnu Smith continuing to do what he needs to do. You still got the ball a little bit to Hill. Maybe you need to get a little bit more to him. I mean, it is what it is. If teams take away something, a good offense is able to adjust and put it forward. So 2 straight weeks getting 34 points after not being able to get past 21 for the first 6 weeks of the season. Ever since Tagovailoa has been back, he has 11 touchdowns and 1 interception. He has been airtight. I mean, there have been no issues with this offense, really. The issues that they were having, they weren't getting the ball enough, but now 3 straight wins. They're not the best competition, but the fact of the matter is it's hard to win in this league, and that's what they need. And so going into the week, also with the Colts losing, as if like Miami is right back into where it needs to be. So like we're really what we're looking at right now. Dolphins need to kind of keep it going at the moment. Right now, they are right outside the playoff conversation. Depending on what happens with the Broncos and the Raiders tonight, they are in 8th place, so you need to keep winning. And especially with a big game against the Packers this week, who are doing really well. And if it wasn't for the historic run that right now that the Lions are being, they would be higher up in the conference. But the NFC North amazingly has 3 teams with at least four games over 500 right now. So it's kind of crazy to think about that. But Miami plays the Packers this week, so you have to. I don't know if you assume a loss right there, but if they want to get into the playoffs, they kind of have to still win out. So it's playoff time, so you can't afford to lose this game. So they got to find a way to win this game. And it's a winnable game. Jordan Love will turn the ball over to you, and their defense, while it is good, there are some holes in it that you can poke. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so moving on to the Canes. So the Canes, it was a weird game yesterday. I know if y'all watched it. I mean, I watched the game from beginning to end. It's a very weird game. You start off with how most Miami games start off with the opening drive touchdown for the Hurricanes. They run down the field quick. Cam Ward doesn't usually miss a pass. They run the ball a little bit and they get into the end zone with a touchdown pass. That's usually how it goes. So, and then of course you got the next drive where the defense inevitably gives up a touchdown drive on a wide open miscommunication behind a blown coverage there, and you're just kind of looking around like, okay, I guess this is going to be another back and forth game with a team that has no business being in the game with Miami, because Wake Forest is not a good team. So they get a bit frustrated, and then Miami gets the ball back, has a chance to go 14-7 in my opinion, but then chokes away and does not execute in the red zone, and it only has to settle for a field goal. There were times when I thought that Cam Ward did a good job of taking what the defense gave him, but then there were times when he was like, I think he saw the defense give up a treat touchdown, and he's like, no, I can't do that. I got to go for the touchdown. So he had Mark Fletcher in the flat open on that drive, and they went up 10-7, but waited, threw it across the ball, almost to win another interception. He has to do a better job taking what it is and giving it to Mark Fletcher, giving it to Amy Martinez, because they can make plays happen. When they catch the ball, it's almost better than when they run it. Like both of them have 20, 30-yard receptions in games this season. He has to give it a chance. I think he has to trust a little bit more in the playmakers around him. From time to time. I mean, that's my only knock on Cam Ward this season. As amazing as he's played, and he set another record for single season passing yards yesterday, that was crazy to me was that the Miami has moved the college football has moved to a 12 game season. I think in '02, and no one has thrown for over 3,600 yards in a season for Miami since 1984. Bernie Kosar did it the first national championship year, which is just wild to me. They have two two quarterbacks who won Heisman trophies who didn't even break that record, and it takes so Cam Moore to do it for it to happen. So that's wild to me. But when it comes down to it, you set up for the field goal, you go back down, and then the defense almost gets gashed again for a 17-yard drive, and then this is the turning point of the game. And these are words I didn't think I was going to be saying. I thought I was going to be saying it at the beginning of the season, but I didn't think I was going to be saying it right now. The defense saved this game. Mish Powell, with a huge pick six, saved this game, turned it around, and after that, I'll even go. I got the list. I'm gonna go through it with y'all. What Miami did after the interception: three straight 3-and-outs, a punt, turnover on downs, another 3-and-out, a turnover on downs after Miami did a silly onside kick, and then 3 plays to end the game. Miami didn't give up. After giving up 130 yards the first couple drives, Miami didn't give up 60 yards for the rest of the game. Wake Forest was held underneath 200 yards for the whole game and didn't complete a pass the second half. That's domination. That's getting the defensive line stepped up like I asked them to. Defensive backfield played a lot better. Porter should have had a pick. Mish Powell should have had another pick six. The way they happened, I think Malagoa had his best game in my opinion since the Ball State game. In my opinion, like they were great. They played better than even they played against Florida State in my opinion. Because I didn't really think they played all that well against Florida State, but they played really well. This is probably the second best performance I think of the year. That Florida performance actually looks better and better each time we get to it, but also that's the only time they've ever been at full strength, meaning having Damari Brown. And he warmed up yesterday, but he did not play. He probably will play against Syracuse, and I think we're going to need him against Syracuse. Really, when it comes down to it, reacting to the game, there's still some things that need to be happening. The offense still did not execute as well. X had a fumble. I didn't think I'd ever see that. That was wild. I think that's his first fumble loss in his whole career. I have to look that up. I know it hasn't been the last 2 or 3 years when he's been focal point of the offense. I know that for sure. But it was just like it was sluggish for them. And what was crazy to me, I just kept thinking that the defense was going to give something up. But, they just never did. Of course, they gave the kickoff return to get it back. And, that was disappointing in my opinion. But after that, Wake Forest did nothing. And I was really impressed with the defense yesterday. They played very well. There's still some things that obviously need to get cleaned up. The communication's still not there. But afterwards, they communicated really well, it seemed like, on the back end. And after they gave that up. So sometimes it's about, see ball, make ball, play ball, and that's what Mish Powell did. It just changed the scope of that game. So when it comes down to it, basically both the Dolphins and the Hurricanes are in a win now, or forever hold your peace type situations. And one thing I talked about in my preview for last week was how there are certain games that define you as a team. Like, are you a good team or are you a great team? And so we're going to find out on Saturday if Miami is a great team, because Syracuse is a very good team, 8-3. Have a great pass offense. The only quarterback who can say he's thrown for more yards this season than Cam Ward is Kyle McCord, who plays for Syracuse. And Miami's had issues on the back end. So if Damari Brown is back, maybe that's better. But also, this thing is he hasn't played the last 10 games, so the communication issues are still going to be there. So because he hasn't played with these guys either. So adding someone to it, even as good as he is, who still has communication issues, how much better is it really going to get? So, we have to be cautious, I guess, with this game, but I think Miami's going to approach it as they approach every game. One game at a time, going 1-0 at a time. Then Miami goes another 1-0. Miami's going to do something they've only done once in their history, and that's go to ACC championship game. So, but congratulations to Miami having their second 10-win season in 20 years, which is crazy because they started the century with 4 straight 10-win seasons and they've only had 2 since. That's just wild to me, how things can change in an instant when it comes to these programs. But Miami was done. I have to shout them out for doing something that they haven't done very much in this year. Setting offensive records, doing everything that they can. But it's not going to really matter if Miami doesn't take care of business again on Saturday again. So we're going to be looking for that, and I'll be coming with my preview later on this week. Y'all know it's Thanksgiving week, and I'm going to be going out of town. I'm actually going to be with my brothers and Nick and Tallahassee a little bit, and then going to see my family, which I'm looking forward to. Hopefully we all get to watch the game together, which is always a great thing. But hopefully y'all enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Be thankful for a great Miami Hurricanes team. Be thankful for a Dolphins team that looks like it's turning it around. Be thankful for the things in your life. Be thankful for the people in your life. And hopefully y'all have a great Thanksgiving. We love y'all. Hopefully we'll be having a podcast this week. Hopefully we'll be doing it in person. We're not sure. We're trying to make sure everything get together. But hopefully we see y'all soon. Thank y'all so much for checking us out. Love y'all. Off on 9/9. Out.